What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Switch Life Garage. I'm Caleb, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that's going to change the channel a little bit. If you guys have been following along, or if this is your first time viewing, thank you. I got some information I want to share to y'all that's going to change a little bit of what I'm doing onto these cars. Now, I know we got a lot of new subscribers onto this channel and a lot of new people always viewing my channel, so I'm gonna get y'all up to speed and so y'all could just follow along from here on out. Some of you guys know I have several different cars, and one of the cars that kind of made this channel popular in a way was my 97 Honda Del Sol, which I had bought from my neighbor back when I graduated high school. That was back in 2013, right after high school. Now, I always wanted my neighbor's Del Sol, to be quite honest, since I was little, and finally he was selling it, so I took the opportunity and bought the car from him. And to be quite honest, on the front end, I always knew it had some type of accident that happened previously, not with my neighbor, but with the owner before that. Now, at that time, I wasn't really a person to really care about bodywork and stuff. I've always messed with like salvage cars and stuff, and always was into, you know, getting cars for the low type of thing. So salvage cars, salvage titles, it wasn't really something new to me, but I knew later on I would have to get the front end fixed. Now, up until recently, I was driving my 2001 Honda Prelude, and as some of you guys know, it burns a little bit of oil, and some of the suspension is starting to give out, such as the shocks. And so, I mean, it still runs and drives, but it kind of was in the back of my mind, and I hate having to check the oil all the time. Just feeling, I don't know, I was just kind of bored of the car, driving it for a while, because I've driven it for about 2 years already now. So I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to bring my 97 Honda Del Sol out. Now, once driving it, I found out that the shocks were very blown. Well, at least one shock is very blown. And I did have my clutch slave cylinder leak on me, which I've already replaced. But as far as the shocks, it's still blown. I can still drive it like that, you know, point A to point B. Not really a problem. And there's other problems with the car, such as no AC. There's a leak, one leak, I think, from the oil pump. But overall, it's still a pretty good daily car to get you around. Now, this time around, bringing the Del Sol back out, I wanted to fix the front end and finally get OEM parts on it, because it always have aftermarket parts that it was replaced with, except for the bumper, that's still OEM, and as well as the headlights. So I actually bought a JDM front end. If you guys have me on my Instagram, I posted a photo of when I had bought it, and it actually arrived to my house just a few days ago. I'm going to show you guys that clip. Here's the package. It arrived yesterday, but I get home late at night, so I didn't want to open it and, you know, not be able to see everything at night, and plus I wanted to record it. So let's go ahead and get this open. Alright, so firstly we have the hood. To be honest, I thought the paint was going to be pretty faded, but actually it looks a lot better than I thought. Dents are a little bit bigger than I thought they would be. I mean, but it's not really a problem either way. That dent right there as well. I saw another one somewhere. Forgot. But the edges are kind of bent, which kind of disappointed about. I mean, I could fix it, but you know. Underside of the hood, it does have the OEM trimming, which I don't have, so that's a nice little add-in as well. Here, showing you the OEM part number right there, and it says B16A, as you can see, for the idle speed. Okay, so here we have the fenders. There's a passenger one, pretty straight. Everything looks pretty good on it. Just have a little scuff right there. Let me see. Oh, some scratches. Nothing much. Everything looks good on it. Now here's the driver one. I knew it would have that dent on there, as well as a few scratches. That dent could be fixed, not a problem. Side marker. And these are the Stanley ones, the OEM. And now here we have the bumper, the front core support, the headlights, now as well as some of the wiring and fans. Got scuffed right there. Another scuff right there. And these are the JDM bumpers, so they don't have the little side marker on here. That's what I like about it. You know, I like the dolphin nose better, to be quite honest, but it doesn't hurt having an extra bumper. One piece headlights. Very nice. Fogs. Alright, so once again, take a look at the hood. Dent right there. You can see where the dents are at with the reflection. But overall, not a big problem to me, to be honest. These are used parts, so obviously it came off of like a 93. They lasted quite a while and still in great shape. Need a little bit of care, but perfectly fine. Here we have the core support. Now the thing about aftermarket parts is that they never really fit correctly, especially body parts, cheap body parts. They always have like weird gappage, and I don't know, they're just, I never recommend anyone to replace their car parts with aftermarket body panels. So I finally bought the JDM front end, and about 2 days went by, and I finally wanted to install it onto the car and see how everything had finally fit up and see what the fitment was looking like. Okay, so I'm going to take the body panels off. Obviously I'm not going to do the core support right now or the headlights, but I'm going to put the fenders, the hood, the bumper on, and won't be able to do the auxiliary lights. Del Sol, whole front end taken off. I'm gonna wash everything up. It's getting a little late out here, plus it's cloudy, so we'll see where I pick up off of. Okay, so the front end is on. Fenders are kind of loosely on, kind of hand tied in with some bolts. Look at the body line. Look at the fender. Where it meets up at. Gaps. The overhang. And the hood won't shut. The body line super tight. Fender. That might be for real. It might meet up, but anyways, as you could tell, it's pretty off. Look at the gap on the hood. Pretty big gapage. So that already tells you with OEM parts on it, the frame is twisted. And I actually saw where it's pretty bent at, so I'm going to show you guys that right now. Okay, back with the panels off. You guys see this side, the subframe? See how it looks? It looks alright. Now there's a little bit of damage here from the little collision I had. You know, it's a little bent. And you know, I was thinking that was fixable, which it is. And then you see the accident from the previous, not the past owner, I guess the first owner, whichever it may be. Pretty crumpled. They kind of stretched it out, smashed, and there's signs of it bending the subframe. You see right there, as well right here by the strut tower, which looks like it got kind of pushed. To me, it just kind of looks like it got, like, went under a truck or something, because it's kind of bent. Well, it's not kind of, it is bent, and then it's kind of downwards. That's why the hood isn't lining up, and there's a gap. So really, if I wanted to fix this car, I would have to basically replace this whole part of the subframe, the front end, which I'm not really willing to do that for this car. And so now it's time to move on to the Samba Green. Alright, as you guys saw in that clip, that is right, I am going to be moving on to my 93 Del Sol. If you guys don't know about that car, I bought that one a couple months ago. I'll probably say probably 6 months ago, something like that. But I brought it very cheap from about 45 minutes away from me. I picked it up and it drove home. You know, I drove it about 45 minutes to my house, and which, to be quite honest, for what I had picked it up for and everything, was a steal. Even though it had problems and stuff, which you expect these cars to have problems, they're already older, they're already becoming antiques. So, you know, you can't really ask for much, but there are still some good ones out there, but you're going to be paying the price for them. And as some of you know, I've already been working on Samba Green Del Sol, so it already gives me a head start and lets me see the potential that this car really has. As you guys saw in the 97, none of the panels are really fitting right, and the thing is just twisted. The beam, basically the frame rail on the driver's side, is pointing downwards, and plus it's like pushed in, and plus on the passenger side, I don't know what is going on. That didn't happen from that little accident that I had. It's always had that gapage there. So I don't know if it's been in another accident than the ones that I know about, but obviously nothing is lining up. So really, if you're looking to build a car, a show car, a track car, whatever it may be, you want to start off with the base, a good foundation. Like anything in life, you want a good foundation to start on. And because, I mean, you could throw all the parts you want on a car, on a frame, but if that frame is off, I don't care if you have $20,000, $50,000 worth of modifications on the car. The platform, the base of the car is trash, so therefore the whole thing is trash. I'm not going to buy something that has so much work into it, but it has a messed up base. So this is really the plan. The Samba Green Del Sol still sits in front of my house, and I'm slowly going to build on it just because it does sit there. Now the other 97 Del Sol, I'm still going to use it to go from point A to point B, but I'm going to be taking parts off it and start moving everything from the 97 on to the 93. And so, you know, even if I drive gutted or whatever the case may be, I really don't care, because I know I'm not keeping that car. And as well for you guys, this may be an opportunity because I'm going to be selling a lot of Del Sol parts. I'm basically going to be parting out that car. Once I know it comes to a certain point I can't drive it, I'm going to just chop it up, sell the rest of the parts, and that's going to be the end of the 97 Del Sol. I have to put it to rest just because, it served its purpose. I learned a lot on it. Okay, so everything is put back together, put the side skirts back on, fenders, bumper, hood, and the hood finally closes. And I took the spacers off the hood. You can still see a big gap. It not aligning. The gap opening. Gap right there, fender. The hood overlapping. Fitment on the fender. I did, however, already cut off the wires for the side markers, took off the side markers, took off the mud flaps, the rear mud flaps, and yeah, just starting to take stuff off here and there slowly. Took off the front license plate frame. That's basically trash. License plate up there now for now. Front mud flaps taken off, fitment on there, which is off, and like I said, the rear mud flaps already been taken off, and that will be used for the Samba green. Now the only thing about the 93 Del Sol is that you could tell it previously had an accident, which isn't too bad at all, and everything lines up as it should, except for on the passenger side between the fender and the driver's hood. There's a little bit bigger body gap than there should be. I've asked myself, if this isn't fixable, if I take it to a body shop and they put it on the machine and tell me it's not fixable, I could still live with it, to be quite honest. And as well, I do believe there is some damage on the core support, which I'm not even really tripping about, because on the JDM front end, it came with the core support, it came with the the EG2 VIN plaque, and which is kind of cool. It's a nice little add-in. I really don't personally care for it, but since I have it, might as well install it, right? But let me show you guys the 93 Del Sol real quick, and just to show you guys exactly what we're working with, and hopefully you guys are excited for this just as I am. It's kind of bad news, but in the same time I see it as good news. I'm starting on something completely new to me, a straight frame, and it seems in a lot better condition and puts me in a better position to make a badass car. Okay, so here's the 93, just in case you guys don't know about it. Now the bumper is loose. I don't have any screws or anything on it. Here's the body gap I was talking about. It's a little bit bigger than I would like it to be, but the body lines everywhere else, like I said, the bumper doesn't have any screws or anything in it. The headlight does have a gap on there, but to be honest, let me see. Well, it's actually on the there's actually a gap right here, but hopefully that changes when I change out the core support. The hood closes nicely. The lines from the headlight onto the hood fitting onto the bumper fit straight correctly. This one, the body gaps on this, once I bolt it up, everything looks nice on it. The fender gap, all the gappage looks pretty decent. I've already looked under the hood as well in the engine bay. Took a look, and nothing is looking out of the ordinary, like bent or anything like that. I'll show you guys. See the core support, it looks like they just changed out the top of the core support whenever this car had gotten into an accident. You could tell it has been an accident just because of the beating of the sheet metal, which I could fix that. It doesn't look too bad, but you could tell it's been in an accident on this side, which doesn't seem like an issue. Look at the subframe. Nothing looks bent out of the ordinary. Now this always has the lines like that from factory. Show you guys the damage. See some type of accident that was on here. But I do believe, like I stated, the course report will fix that. Then the 97, already took some parts off, like I stated. Just a quick walk around for you, those of you that never seen it. There's a quick interior shot. The seats are all apart. Yes, that video will be coming out soon about the seats. So well, alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. I know it was kind of lengthy on this video, but I wanted to give all the information to you guys so you guys could stay updated on what's going on. And if you guys stuck to the end of this video and actually listened to me talk, I just want to thank you for watching this video and watching the whole thing. As well, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and as well add me on social media. Just check the description box, you'll find all my information on there, as well as my eBay page. But alright guys, I appreciate you taking your time and watching my videos. But as always guys, I'll catch you on the next one.